This is Jamie Drummond for Good Food Revolution. I am standing here with the lovely Sue-Ann Staff of Staff Estate Vineyards and Winery.
Very nice.
And Sue-Ann is also the winemaker for
Megalomaniac.
Megalomaniac,
Yes.
hence the shirt. Now, I was wondering, Sue-Ann, if you could please just give us a few words about the 2010 vintage and how it has been treating you.
2010 vintage is so exciting for a winemaker. It's been so hot through this year, and I wouldn't necessarily say dry as well. We've had dry spells certainly, but we've also had some really well-timed rains. I think what's making this vintage different from previous years as well, previous great years, is that we had so much heat so early in the year, a lot of it before June 21st. So it really helped the buds, those vines jump out of bud early in the spring, get the vine established really quickly, have fertilization of the flowers really early too. So we're going to have a great long growing season and some fantastic fruit in the end for some really great wine.
I was speaking with a couple of winemakers and they were a little bit concerned about the phenolic ripeness. So all of the bricks were right up there, but some of their Pinot grapes weren't really tasting of anything. Do you have any concerns about that?
What I think is helping too is recently we've had some really cold nights. Like last night it was freezing, and the night before too. So that's going to help maintain some acidity. And you know, these are unique problems that we've never really had to face actually in Niagara. So I really, aside from physiological ripeness, I really think we're going to have a level of ripeness that is certainly higher than most typical years. And in the end, we're going to have superior wines. I really think that we're going to be equivalent to 07, 05, 02, even better than those great years.
Excellent. Well, I'm looking forward to tasting these wines when they are ready.
Me
Thank
too.
you very much, Sue-Ann.
Great, thank you.
Now, I have to ask you, how has the 2010 vintage been treating your grapevines?
Well, another great year, but you have to be patient. So a lot of people are harvesting. I always choose to be patient, and we'll start harvest mid-October. You know, that allows us to get all the tannins beautifully ripe. Okay, it's a great year, it's a warm year, it's wonderful, but no need to be in a hurry. And by keeping it longer, we'll make wines that are going to be big and age very well.
So you're thinking mid-October for
October
harvest?
12 is, I think, is the time where we will start. And we will start with Sauvignon Blanc, of course, not the reds yet. The reds will be more into November. But this year, I'm happy to say, we should be finished by the end of November.
Well, I'm very much looking forward to tasting the fruits of your labor when they have indeed evolved to the point when they're going to be drinking perfectly, much like the Stratus Red from 2007.
That's right.
Thank you very
3
much.
years, wonderful. Thank you.
Thank you. This is Jamie Drummond for Good Food Revolution. I'm here with none other than Donald Ziraldo. How are you today, Donald?
Excellent. In a sunny day like this in the 20th of September, I couldn't be better.
Which leads us to my next question, well, my first question, I guess. How is the harvest of 2010?
Spectacular. I just actually this morning at 7 a.m. was out picking my own Riesling in my organic vineyard, and everything is about 2 weeks early. So everybody's a little frantic, but the quality of the fruit has been spectacular. The harvest started early because we had such a magnificent summer. We had good rains and very hot summer days with cool nights. So as we're getting into the summer, end of the summer and beginning of the harvest, we're looking forward to continued good weather, and we're getting some fantastic sugars. The early varieties like Pinot Grigio that are coming in, we've actually even harvested some of the Pinot Noir because it's already at 23 or 24 bricks. Some of the grapes are actually raisioning to give some fantastic quality. So we're all very, very excited, keeping our fingers crossed that the weather will stay just like it is now to get even better quality.
And what's the phenolic ripeness looking like right now?
The phenolics are great. There's a little bit of concern about some of the pHs being a bit odd, but I think it's just a function of the great weather. So they said 207 was a great vintage. I think 2010 might even surpass it. So we're all very, very excited about the quality of the vintage coming out of 2010.
Excellent. Well, I'm looking forward to tasting the wines when they are ready. Thank you very much, Mr. Ziraldo.
Thank you.
I'm here with Caroline Granger of Grange of Prince Edward County. How are you today, Caroline?
I'm well, thank you. How are you?
I'm very well. Now, I was wondering if you could please give us a little insight into the 2010 vintage and how it applies to Prince Edward County and what's been going on this year.
Well, this has actually been a stellar year. It's the first time in my 10 years in the vineyard that we actually started early and stayed early. The weather cooperated all through the season. There's no wood to knock on. I'm almost at the point where I don't have to be cautiously optimistic anymore. We actually began vintage about 18 days early, which is exactly where we started this year. We were in full bud break in the third week in April.
Wow.
So far, everything is absolutely beautiful coming in. The quality of the crop is amazing. Crop load is exactly what you'd want it to be. It was a little dodgy in May. There was a heavy frost on May 10th. We were lucky we ran the fans, so we didn't suffer any damage. I do have one young block that saw about a 40% reduction in crop that night. But so far we've picked Pinot Noir and Chardonnay for sparkling. We've picked Pinot Noir and Gamay for rosé, and all of the Pinot Gris is in as of yesterday. So we've got a full crew up and running, and we are very excited. The truth is that around the Grange, we think this is going to be the vintage that people will talk about for a long time.
Oh, that's great. Oh, Caroline, thank you very much for speaking with us today.
My pleasure.